In a small backyard, something powerful can happen. A space that many people would consider too small, too simple, or even useless can become a place that produces fruit almost all year long. The secret is not having a large farm or expensive equipment. The real secret is choosing the right plants and preparing the soil properly so nature can do the rest. In this small backyard, only 4 fruit plants make it possible to harvest again and again throughout the seasons. Strawberries, blueberries, figs, and passion fruit grow together in this small space, each producing fruit at different times of the year. With good soil, sunlight, and patience, this tiny space becomes a continuous source of fresh fruit for the family. Everything begins with the soil. Before planting anything, the ground must be prepared so that roots can grow strong and deep. The first step is clearing the area. Any weeds, grass, or debris are removed so the soil is exposed and ready to work with. This simple action already begins transforming the space from an unused patch of land into a future garden. After clearing the surface, the soil needs to be loosened. Using simple hand tools, the ground is turned and broken apart. Hard soil prevents roots from expanding, so loosening the earth allows air, water, and nutrients to move freely underground. As the soil becomes soft and crumbly, it begins to look alive again. But good gardens are not built with soil alone. Organic matter is the key to long-term fertility. Compost, aged manure, and natural plant material are mixed into the soil to improve its structure and nutrient content. This organic layer helps the soil retain moisture while also feeding the plants slowly over time. Once the soil is rich and well prepared, the planting space begins to take shape. Small planting holes are opened and carefully spaced so that each plant has enough room to grow. Even in a tiny backyard, proper spacing is important. Strawberries are planted where they can spread across the soil, blueberries are placed where their bushes can grow freely, a fig tree is planted where it can receive full sunlight, and passion fruit vines are positioned near a support structure where they can climb and grow. Now comes the exciting moment, planting the 4 fruit plants that will make this small garden productive throughout the year. Each plant is placed gently into the soil, with the roots covered and the base firmly supported. After planting, the soil is pressed lightly around the plant to remove air pockets and help the roots establish contact with the earth. Watering comes immediately after planting. Freshly planted roots need moisture to settle into their new environment. A deep and gentle watering allows the soil to wrap around the roots, helping the plant begin its first stage of growth. Over the following days and weeks, the garden slowly begins to change. At first, the plants appear small and delicate, but with sunlight and regular watering they begin to grow stronger. Strawberry plants begin spreading along the soil, blueberry bushes slowly grow taller, the young fig tree develops stronger branches, and the passion fruit vine begins climbing toward the sunlight. Morning sunlight plays an important role in this process. Most fruit plants need several hours of direct sunlight every day. In this tiny backyard, the plants receive warm morning light that fuels their growth through photosynthesis. The energy from the sun is transformed into strong stems, vibrant leaves, and eventually flowers and fruit. As the plants continue to develop, simple maintenance keeps them healthy. Weeds are removed regularly so they do not compete for nutrients. The soil is kept slightly moist, but not flooded, allowing roots to breathe while still receiving the water they need. Mulch can also be added around the base of the plants. A layer of straw, dry leaves, or organic material helps protect the soil from drying too quickly. It also improves soil health as it slowly decomposes and returns nutrients to the ground. Weeks pass, and the garden becomes fuller and greener. What was once an empty backyard space is now a living ecosystem. Bees and pollinators begin to visit the garden, attracted by the flowers forming on the fruit plants. Strawberry flowers appear close to the ground, blueberry bushes produce clusters of blossoms, the fig tree quietly develops its fruiting branches, and the passion fruit vine displays its beautiful tropical flowers. Soon, small fruits begin to appear where flowers once bloomed. At first they are tiny and barely noticeable. Strawberries slowly form beneath the leaves, blueberries appear in small green clusters, figs begin to develop on the branches of the young tree, and passion fruit start forming along the climbing vine. Watching fruit develop is one of the most satisfying parts of gardening. Each fruit is the result of healthy soil, sunlight, water, and patient care. Even in a small backyard, these 4 plants begin to produce enough fruit to share with the entire family. As the weeks continue, the fruit begins to ripen. Strawberries turn bright red close to the soil, blueberries slowly change into deep blue clusters, figs become soft and sweet on the tree, and passion fruits mature on the vine under the warmth of the sun. Finally, the moment arrives when the first fruit is ready to be picked. Harvesting is done gently to avoid damaging the plant. Strawberries are picked one by one, blueberries are gathered in small clusters, figs are carefully removed from the tree, and passion fruits are collected from the vine. Each fruit is carefully placed into a basket. Soon the basket begins to fill. What started as a simple backyard project has now become a reliable source of fresh food. The fruit is brought into the home, washed, and prepared for meals, snacks, smoothies, desserts, or homemade recipes. But the garden does not stop producing after one harvest. Healthy plants continue growing, producing new flowers and new fruit over time. With proper care, strawberries continue producing new berries, blueberry bushes return with new clusters, the fig tree grows stronger each season, and the passion fruit vine continues flowering and fruiting. At the end of the day, the garden stands as proof that you do not need a large farm to grow your own food. Even a tiny backyard can become incredibly productive when the soil is cared for and the right plants are chosen. 4 plants. 1 small garden. And a year of fruit made possible by strawberries, blueberries, figs, and passion fruit growing together in harmony. In the end, this small backyard becomes more than just a place where fruit grows. It becomes a symbol of independence, sustainability, and the simple joy of harvesting food with your own hands.